Hey guys, it's Joe for Gaming Curious, and today we will take a look at 8 tricks that Valorant pros do that you don't. We will go over the technique and some ways to practice them, but won't dive into too much detail. Having said this, let's go ahead and take a look at these 8 Valorant tricks. The first trick we will cover is bunny hopping, specifically when it is used to avoid damage as much as possible. Here we are referring to using bunny hops to go through some AoE ability that deals damage. And bunny hopping doesn't mitigate the damage taken. What it does, it allows you to spend the least amount of time in the AoE, because if you walk or just run through it, it will be the most damage you can take. But if you jump a portion of it and don't follow it up with a bunny hop, you will still be in the AoE for longer than you need to be. Because when you finish a jump, you get slowed before you can move at full speed again. And this is why bunny hopping is the way to go to get through those abilities taking the least amount of damage. Our next trick is regarding faking plays with a sound cue. This is one of the hardest tricks to pull off, since it will heavily depend on the advantage you have over your enemies and how much you have gotten into their heads. But these plays can range from faking a plant of the spike, which this would be the case if you would like to force an enemy that you know is nearby and time is running low, or fake a defuse, having in mind the same result as the previous case. Or another case could be dropping a gun from a high place to fake that being you falling from heaven, and there are a lot of possibilities on playing tricks on your enemy with sounds. Your creativity is really the limit here, because even footsteps can give false information to the enemy team if played in the correct way. So be creative with how you use sound in your advantage in Valorant. The next trick in our list is warming up a possible flick. This is a tricky one, since what this trick is to practice a flicking movement in the game, not in a practice test or something. This has to be done in the match you are going to perform it, and even seconds before it does. This is especially useful against some high mobility agents like his Jet or Raze. And here are some clips showing this trick. The following trick regards spray control. As we know, the first 6 to 7 shots of the assault rifles get shot with a consistent spray pattern, but after that the spray goes left to right in a random manner. However, you can still control the spray in a consistent way even with this randomness. This can be achieved by taking a look at the barrel of the gun and seeing to which direction it moves, and then adjust your aim on that movement. This will allow you to unload a longer spray with higher precision than before. The next trick is a pretty well-known technique since Counter-Strike, but not that many people use it, and it is knowing when to use a wide pick and when to tight pick. So what does this even mean? A wide pick is trying to have the widest angle between your target and yourself, and tight is pretty much the opposite. So when are you supposed to use any of this? Usually wide picking is used when you are in close quarters, and tight for long range picking. This is because you try to minimize the needed movement of your mouse to land the hit and maximize that same movement for your target, and also be able to see them first. So what you're really trying to do is have your easiest shot and making the enemy have the hardest shot at you possible. Coming up, we got another trick for picking, but this time is jump and wiggle picking. These techniques are used to bait a shot from an up or to see the enemy without risking too much. There are some variants to these techniques, like shoulder picking, that is half faking a pick by only showing a small portion of your agent's body, trying to bait a shot from the enemy while risking not getting killed. This is especially useful when you know the enemy team has an up in a certain spot and you're trying to bait out the shot, so you can go ahead and then pick them and try to beat them to a headshot, or at least get through that spot. Next, we have another trick regarding picking, and it is switching to the knife after firing the operator. This is especially useful when more than one enemy picked you when you were covering an angle. This is done because moving with the operator is pretty slow, and switching to the knife allows you to get back into cover faster. This is not done to fire faster in any way. This is just a technique used to maximize your mobility while playing with an operator and risking as little as possible, at least in the movement side of things. Our last trick is one of the things that separates a good aiming player from a pro player, and it is understanding the economy. As we know, there is quite a lot of combinations of guns in Valorant, and a lot of them are used rarely, especially in lower elos. This is because they usually tend to push economy every single round, which only really works if you win every round after you push economy, else you will be in a massive economic and firepower disadvantage for half of the rounds. This is really important to coordinate with your teammates and be all in the same page about your team's economy, which is no easy task to do, but it is something that will allow you to come back after some lost rounds, and also understanding the team's economy will allow you to know when to save a gun or just try to get as many kills even if the round is already lost or over, because hindering the enemy team's economy is part of understanding their economy, and this will help you win a round in the coming rounds. So, this is it for the 8 tricks Valorant pro players do that you probably didn't know about. If you think we missed one, let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our coming videos. This was Joe for Gaming Curious.